What's up guys, Mickle here, and in this video we have a ton of breaking news to cover in regards to the ongoing Ripple SEC case. Last night we had both the SEC and Ripple file their responses to each other's summary judgment motions. Guys, in this video we're going to break down both of these arguments. I'm going to let you guys know which one was stronger because guys, we found out some shocking new things in both of these summary judgment motions, and they really are going to give us a much better idea of exactly where this case stands now. Guys, we also had a brand new Amicus Brief filed to this case from Spendabits, and guys, Spendabits absolutely goes off on the SEC, destroys their argument that XRP is a security of Ripple. I want to break down that for you guys and show you guys exactly why the SEC is in such a bad position with all of these Amicus Briefs being filed. Make sure to stick around for that. Last of all, at the end of this video, I want to go over whether or not we could still see a settlement in this case. Attorney Bill put out a very interesting tweet thread where he was saying that he still believes a settlement is highly probable, and now would be the time we would see a settlement roll in. Guys, make sure to stick around till the end of the video to see that. I think I'm going to show you guys something that no one is talking about. Like always, guys, your support means so much to this channel. If you want to see more videos just like this, make sure to hit the like and subscribe button down below and turn on bell notifications. These three simple things go such a long way in helping this channel grow, and it really does mean so much to me. If you guys are ever looking for a good place to buy and sell XRP, make sure to check out the link for Uphold down in the description below. Uphold is one of my favorite exchanges and a great place to buy and sell XRP. With that said though, let's jump right into the video, and I hope you guys enjoy the update. So guys, real quick, MooMoo is running an absolutely insane promotion right now that could win you guys a ton of money. If you sign up with MooMoo right now using the link in the description of this video, you could win up to 15 free stocks, and your chance of actually winning an Apple share are doubled if you sign up today. Also guys, MooMoo is a great exchange. They're regulated. They have some great products to help you guys trade stocks. So make sure to check that out and definitely sign up with MooMoo if you want 15 free stocks. So guys, we have a bunch of new information to cover in this video, and I doubt I'll be able to get to all of it, but I want to give you guys a surface level view of everything we saw filed to this case last night, because guys, a lot of this stuff is going to drastically change the course of this case, and I could not believe that we still have lawyers talking about a possibility of a settlement. Make sure to stick around to the end of the video to see that. I think Bill made some very good points that not a lot of people are considering. So let's jump into this thing, and I want to start off by talking about Ripple's new summary judgment brief. This is in response to the SEC's, and guys, Ripple is still hitting on the same issues we saw them talking about before, which is where is the investment contract. And I thought Ripple did an excellent job of just breaking things down very simply of what the biggest issues are with the SEC's crazy theory of this case. So I want to start off and just show you this paragraph because I really think this makes things nice and simple. Ripple says a purchase of Exxon stock grants the holder certain rights and creates obligations on the part of Exxon. A purchase of oil from Exxon, even for investment purposes, does neither. The purchaser gains no right to share of Exxon's profits, and Exxon undertakes no obligation to try to increase the oil's value. Such a purchase bears no inclination of an investment contract, even if it creates an alignment of interests. So guys, what is so important to understand here, and I think Ripple just does an awesome job of this, is there is absolutely no investment contract between Ripple and XRP holders, the same way that there is no investment contract between Exxon and the people Exxon sells oil to. I really do think Exxon is a great example of showing in a very easy way to the court what exactly is going on here. Ripple sold XRP just like Exxon sells oil. Both of these companies profit from selling this commodity, and different people use these commodities for different things completely independent of the main company, which would be Exxon and Ripple. But the most important point to take away from this is that even once a purchaser buys oil from Exxon or buys XRP from Ripple, the person who bought that commodity doesn't have any right to the company who sold it to them. If I buy XRP from Ripple, Ripple doesn't have to do anything to increase the price of XRP, just like if I bought oil from Exxon, Exxon doesn't have to do anything to increase the price of that oil. And the reason why there is no reason for the company to try to increase the value of these commodities is because there was no investment contract. This is really the main point behind Ripple's summary judgment brief, because in order for something to be declared a security, there needs to be an investment contract, and this is something that the SEC is desperately scared of. The SEC cannot identify a single investment contract between XRP holders and Ripple, and because of that, the SEC has a huge problem in the basis of their case. Now, Ripple goes on to make a bunch of other great points in this thing, but I really do think the main thing we need to be focusing on right now on Ripple's argument is the investment contract. It's really the biggest piece of Ripple's argument against the SEC, because Ripple is making the point that if the SEC is allowed to go forward with this theory that XRP is a security and you don't need an investment contract, pretty much anything in the world could be declared a security. Oil would be a security, iPhones would be a security, cars would be a security, and none of this has any basis in the law. The point of an investment contract is absolutely critical, and I think Ripple does a very good job of breaking it down here. It's so easy for people to look at something like oil and say, oh, that's not a security, it's just a commodity. And when Ripple breaks the argument down like this, I just think it's really obvious to the court and makes it super clear that XRP is a lot more like oil than a stock or a bond. So guys, like I said, there is so much to cover in this summary judgment brief out of Ripple, and I'm going to take some more time this week to break down all these different things. But for this video, I want to move on and let you guys know exactly what was in the SEC summary judgment brief, because guys, this thing was interesting in its own right. The SEC really took a completely different avenue in trying to prove to the court that XRP is a security of Ripple, but the SEC tried to do so completely outside the laws that govern securities in the United States. The SEC really tried to bring a new test forward to the court. They want the court to simply agree with the fact that, hey, both XRP holders and Ripple sold and bought XRP. They all want XRP to go up, and the SEC was really trying to push this narrative that nothing happens on the XRP ledger outside the company Ripple, and if things do happen on the XRP ledger outside the company Ripple, it's really insignificant and can be ignored. Well, the important thing to note right off the bat here is that the SEC is not relying on securities laws. They're really trying to bring this common sense kind of argument to the court and say, look, this kind of looks like Ripple is doing all the work on the XRP ledger. They're lying when they say that, but they're trying to bring up these very qualitative points and are just hoping that the court is going to agree with them, even though they don't have any actual laws to back it up. And I want to show you what Jeremy Hogan said about this, because I thought it was really interesting and really hits on this main issue. Jeremy Hogan tweeted out, the SEC fails to adequately address the post-loss obligation argument raised by Ripple. This really has to do with the investment contract, and it has to do with the fact that, hey, if Ripple went away today, XRP would still be trading. So therefore, Ripple can't have any obligation to the price of XRP, because if Ripple was gone and XRP is still trading, well, how does Ripple have any obligation to XRP holders? Obviously, they can't. XRP is independent of Ripple. He goes on to say, I kept waiting for a slew of cases in which appellate courts have found no obligation necessary and nothing. Game-changing argument by Ripple. So what Jeremy Hogan says here is that the investment contract is critical to Ripple's argument. The SEC has failed to identify a single investment contract in this case, and until they do so, their theory of this case really has no basis. The SEC is missing one fundamental link to this case, and they cannot close this gap. The SEC cannot get over the fact that XRP fundamentally is independent of the company Ripple, and there is no investment contract that links the two. Because of this, the SEC is left bringing arguments that really are qualitative and are really just meant to play on people's emotions, such as Ripple sold a lot of XRP and therefore XRP is a security. This might seem like a convincing argument, and it might seem like the SEC's onto something, but it doesn't have any basis in the law, and the SEC knows this. This is why the SEC has continually tried to dodge this issue of investment contracts, and they did that in their summary judgment brief as well. Overall, I think this is a really weak argument. It seems like Jeremy Hogan seems to think so too. He is shocked that the SEC did not address this issue. And guys, what this does is it really sets us up perfectly for the next massive thing Ripple has on their side, which is the Amicus Briefs. The SEC is relying heavily on their made-up theory that no one outside the company Ripple really uses the XRP ledger. Well guys, we have seen a slew of Amicus Briefs come in from different companies completely independent of Ripple, who all say we use the XRP ledger for its utility and it has nothing to do with any kind of investment or speculation. Well, take a look at this. We just got a brand new Amicus Brief out of Spendabits, and like I said, I don't want to take too much time on this because I still want to talk about settlement at the end of this video, but take a look at this paragraph. It is absolutely shocking. The SEC has fought to keep XRP purchasers, users, and developers from sharing their perspective, knowledge, and or use case in this court. This is likely because because such truth destroys the SEC's assertion that users and developers independent of Ripple don't have the ability or resources to grow the XRP ecosystem. So right here, SpendaBits is completely calling out the SEC. They are saying there is a ton of people using the XRP ledger for its utility, and the SEC purposely ignores this fact in this case because it completely destroys the theory behind their case. The only way the SEC's theory of this case could even make a tiny bit of sense is if Ripple really was the only company who was allowed to use the XRP ledger. That could not be further from the truth, and SpendaBits calls them out on this. One of the other funny things about this brief is that SpendaBits is actually moving Bitcoin on the XRP ledger. So based on the SEC's theory of this case, the Bitcoin moved across the XRP ledger is not a security, but the small amount of XRP burned in the process because of the transaction fee is a security. Obviously, that makes no sense, and it just goes one step further in completely disproving the SEC's theory to this court. So guys, one last thing to go over before I let you guys go, and I got this completely wrong. I never thought about this. This has to do with settlement. So I was thinking going into this that there is no way the SEC is going to settle this case now, because if they were going to settle the case, they would have settled this case before handing over the Bill Hinman Ethereum Free Pass emails. For those of you who don't know, we also got another massive win last night in that the SEC actually handed over the Bill Hinman Ethereum Free Pass emails to Ripple, and I'm going to do a whole video breaking down exactly why they did this. But the main thing to take away from this is I thought this meant there's no way the SEC was going to settle this case, because why would they hand over the emails and then settle? It makes a lot more sense that they would settle the case so they don't have to hand over the emails. Well, Attorney Bill actually made a very good point, and he actually believes that settlement is still on the table, and Ripple was refusing to even go to a settlement discussion until the SEC handed over these emails. Now, this is a very interesting perspective, because Bill says that in a settlement discussion, both parties need to give something up. So Bill actually thinks a very likely scenario is now that Ripple has these emails and knows what's in them, they can go to the settlement table and say, look, we won't make these public if you settle this case right now. And I do have to say, I think Bill makes a very good point here. It really didn't make sense for Ripple to settle this case before they got the Bill Hinman Ethereum Free Pass documents, because Ripple already knew they were going to get them. So Ripple was kind of giving the SEC a break by settling this case before they saw them. So guys, Attorney Bill still seems to think a settlement is on the table. I want to know what you guys think down in the comment section below. But guys, we have so much to talk about this entire week. I have a ton of very interesting videos coming. I think we're gonna have to break down each one of these topics individually, because guys, in both of these summary judgment briefs, there were so many gems. There were so many other great things from the SpendaBit Amicus Brief. We're gonna get into that. Guys, make sure to stick around for more videos this week. Thank you so much for coming. If you enjoy videos like this, please like and subscribe. It really does mean so much. And for now, Mickle out.